Let's talk about PIP and Motability. For months my social feeds have been full of crap like every on PIP gets a free car from Motability. Or, a bloke in my town has a Ferrari on PIP, or every person with a blue badge is on PIP and gets a free car. All Audis are PIP cars. Tons of crap. A bloke in my pub tried to convince me that people got the advance payment back in full. What a load of crap. Ferrari have never been on Motability to my knowledge for a start. It really shows you how thick people in the United Kingdom are that everyone believes this rubbish. It shows you how crap Ofsted are at their job too, and how crap they have been because they are allowing schools to churn out muppets who believe this crap. For the start, the cars aren't free. You exchange one of your PIP allowances for the vehicle. Most Motability vehicles require an advance payment which you do not get back. If you need any extras, for example heated seats or any adaptations, those cost extra. You don't get that advance payment back ever. It does not alter the fact that while you are supposed to spend your PIP mobility allowance on mobility, you can actually do whatever you like with it, as it is not really policed. I didn't see any of these social media posters who were criticizing PIP or Motability, complaining that someone had PIP had spent their allowance on cocaine and whores, for example. If I wanted to, I could use the allowance to buy a vehicle that is not on the scheme. I do like a nice Land Rover Discovery Sport. I would prefer a Porsche 911, but I couldn't fit into one of those these days. So they kick Alfa Romeo, Audi, BMW, Lexus and Mercedes off the scheme. You see all these thickos that were complaining about Motability. What happens when they want a second-hand BMW to put their twattish private number plate on? In a while they won't have the supply chain. Do they realize where those low-mileage, well-maintained cars come from? Then they will complain about not being able to get nice cars. Not only that, but the finance cost on new cars will go up, because these manufacturers will not be doing the volumes. It gets better. Motability say we want our customers to drive more British-built vehicles on the scheme. Righty-ho. I need a four-wheel drive vehicle, I actually do. Which four-wheel drive vehicles are manufactured in the United Kingdom? The Range Rover, the Range Rover Sport, the Range Rover Evoque, the Land Rover Discovery Sport, and that's it. Before some unintelligent wombat pipes up in the comments and says that I missed of the Defender and the Discovery, these are not actually produced in the UK but are actually produced at the Slovakian plant. So yes. Please Motability, I will like a British car on your scheme, so tell me when the Discovery Sport will be available. I need the 4WD option with heated seats, and please can I pick it up from the factory instead of the dealer, as the factory is closer to my house. Prior this, a 4MATIC Mercedes would have been a reasonable shout, there are others too. So complete idiocy has ensued. It will probably get worse too. Define luxury vehicle. Give it time and people will be complaining that Ford and Vauxhall are luxury vehicles. What people fail to realize that PIP is so hard to get in the first place. If only some of people who were moaning about this and how wrong it is actually tried to apply for PIP. I bet they wouldn't complain then. This also ignores vehicle setup. For example, I cannot get comfortable in a BMW. Never have been able to. The dashboard, seat setup etc. totally wrong for me. I have the same issue with Fiats too. By the same token, a very good friend of mine has a similar issue with Fords. There is a real need to put the right people in the right cars. It's called safety. Whilst we are here, people on one of these feeds I mentioned above started criticizing company car drivers and comparing them to Motability drivers. For the love of the baby Jesus. People these days get company cars because they drive large mileages for work. It's called hard work. Company cars are not really that cost-effective unless high mileages are being driven for business purposes alone. The drivers also have to pay a lot of tax for a company car. You are damned if you do and damned if you don't. It's the idiocy of the posters and the lack of brain cells that are exemplified by this second attack. Where do all these totally unintelligent people come from? How did they get through the education system? Or did they jump into the gene pool when the lifeguard wasn't looking? Most disabled people such as myself can take only scant comfort from this, and that comfort is that if those idiots are ever disabled, they will probably be complaining quicker than we are, but they will still fail to realize that they have already done the damage because of their lack of intelligence. They can say that they got a chancellor to take action. Well, no positive action was taken, more a kicking of the can down the road. They can't praise the Chancellor for being intelligent, because the decision to ban 5 manufacturers was based on poor virtue signaling that was based on incorrect facts as shown on social media. We already know that the current Chancellor is not very intelligent anyway, as she has been openly displaying this trait for quite some time. As a former employer of people, before I got sick, this whole situation makes me sad. It means that there is a whole generation of people in this country that if I were able to start another company, not that I could not give jobs to, because these people would not have the brains to do the tasks. If you want to know who these people are, just look for those spouting inaccuracies about PIP and Motability on social media. Right, enough of this. I'm off out to use my mobility allowance to get a 4-wheel drive.